Muli po, isang magandang umaga sa ating lahat. Nakakatuwa pong marinig yung kanina pong iniisa-isa ni Ma'am na ang mga kasamahan po natin dito sa Zoom at mga kasamahan natin sa FB, ano po, ay nanggaling sa iba't ibang mga lokasyon, iba't ibang mga probinsya. Ito po yung nagpapatunay lang na tayo ay nandito yung interest natin para makinig tungkol sa ano nga ba ang mga tungkol sa persons with disability. At marami, ibig sabihin marami po tayong magiging advocate para may angat ang antas ng mga persons with disability. Na overwhelmed lamang po ako kasi from Benguet, ayan, from Dimsu, from northern part. Kaya welcome po dito. Pero bago po ako magsimula, ay nais ko po munang magpasalamat sa God RC sa oportunidad na ito na makapagbahagi po ng kaalaman para sa mga para sa lahat at lalo na para sa mga persons with disability. Ang atin pong pag-uusapan ngayon ay napapanahon. Kaya nais ko po munang i-share, wait lang po, ang aking presentation. Ma'am, okay po ba? Malinaw na nakikita?
Naka-presenter view lang po, ma'am. Ayan, okay na po.
Thank you po. Okay, nabanggit ko po na napapanahon yung atin pong pag-uusapan ngayon. Kasi just last month, specifically, third week of July, ay sinelebrate natin yung National Disability Rights Week. Before, ito ay NDPR Week or National Disability Prevention and Rehabilitation Week. Pero by virtue ng proclamation ni President Ferdinand Marcos, ito ay naging National Disability Rights Week. Napakagandang pakinggan, Rights Week, kasi ito yung tutungtungan ng ating mga pag-uusapang mga batas at mga ways on how we can mainstream persons with disability. So, ito po yung nakaraan na tema ng National Disability Rights Week na hindi po nalalayo dun sa tema ng ating webinar sa ngayon. So, rights first, legislation forward, strategic action for equal participation and inclusive development. So, muli po, sa Cavite State University, tayo po ay isa sa mga nangunguna para maitaas ang level ng mga PWDs at makita ang kanilang kontribusyon. Maraming mga programa at serbisyo ang ating gobyerno, maging ang mga private sectors. So ngayon po, tingnan natin saan ito nakaangkla. Bakit ba ngayon may mga patuloy na mga pagbabago sa batas at ang daming mga programs and services at nakikita na natin sila ngayon. Previously, halos maraming mga PWD ang nasa kanilang mga bahay lang. Pero ngayon, bakit ang dami na nating nakikita at naririnig sila? So, eto po yung mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Okay po. At dahil dito sa tema na ito, makikita natin na bakit napakahalaga ng mga policies, ng mga batas. Bakit kailangang ma-institutionalize yung mga iba't ibang mga polisiya na yan para sa ating mga PWDs. Kaya naman po, ang tutok natin ngayong umaga na ito ay the Disability Rights and Philippine Legal Framework, Understanding Republic Act 7277 and other related disability laws. I'm sure at sana may mga kasama rin tayo dito at nakikinig ng mga persons with disability. I'm sure RA 7277 ay familiar sa inyo. If not, let me introduce it to you. And of course, sa lahat ng ating mga kasama dito ngayon, ano nga ba ang RA 7277? Okay. Ito ay kinikilala bilang Magna Carta for Persons with Disability. Doon po muna tayo sa 7277. Magna Carta for Persons with Disability. Ito ay isang foundational legal framework. It is a hallmark law sa Pilipinas when it comes to persons with disability. All other laws na nakikita natin, like yung nakikita nyo sa screen na RA 9442 at marami pang iba, all of it ay naka-anchor sa RA 7277. It is a hallmark law because this law is rights-based in approach. When we talk of rights-based, nakikita natin na ang mga persons with disability ay merong mga karapatan. ang pinoprovide natin sa kanilang mga programs and services is because they have this certain rights. Lahat naman tayo, di po ba, nasa sinapupunan pa lang tayo ng ating mga nanay, ay meron na tayong karapatan. Pero RA 7277 highlights this specific rights for PWD. Before, needs-based ang approach. Kanina, narinig natin yung opening and welcome remarks ni ma'am na we should not treat PWD as mere beneficiaries of programs and services. Dati, yung mga batas, naka-anchor siya sa needs-based. Pero, etong developmental era, lahat ng mga lumalabas ng mga bagong batas, it is rights-based in approach. Kasi, tinitignan natin na ang bawat tao ay may karapatan na dapat nilang makuha, dapat nilang ma-enjoy, dapat nating makita na nakukuha at na-achieve nila. So, kaya naman, RA 7277, Magna Carta for Persons with Disabilities, enumerates all the rights for PWDs. At yan po yung makikita natin ngayon. But allow me, in my presentation, na isama itong amended version ng Republic Act 9442. Because in 9442, nandito yung marahil marami sa atin ang may alam na 20% discount for PWDs. Kaya isinama ko para isang presentation, what are the provisions of 7277 and the specific provisions of 9442, which is the 20% discount and yung sanctions na magpapakita paano kapag may mga PWDs na na-ridicule, na-stigmatize. Nandun din po kasi ito sa RA 9442. Okay, to continue, let me just read yung buong, to complete the RA 7277, let me just read yung complete na pangalan ng batas. So the RA 7277 is an act providing for the rehabilitation, self-development, and self-reliance of disabled persons and their integration into the mainstream of society and for other purposes. Nabanggit ko po kanina that this law is rights-based at itong mga ito ay ilan sa mga karapatan na ma-achieve ng mga PWDs yung kanilang mga karapatan sa pamamagitan ng mga nabanggit dito. Ang concentration nito ay yung kanilang rights. Bakit po? Kasi para makita natin, rehabilitation itself, self-development, sa pamamagitan nito, maa-attain ng mga persons with disability yung satisfying way of life. Mapufulfill yung kanilang general well-being. At pinaka-importante, maa-achieve nila yung kanilang fullest potentials. Dati naririnig ko, may mga kwento na yung mga persons with disability na miyembro ng pamilya, mga itinatago ng kanilang sariling pamilya because of stigma na nanggagaling dahil merong miyembro ng pamilya na isang PWD. At yun yung isang nais nating i-address sa mga polisiya na lumalabas ngayon. Let PWDs be counted. Let PWD enjoy their rights. Kaya sana, kung narinig nyo rin po kanina yung nabanggit, wala tayong gustong maiwan. No one should be left behind. And no PWD should be left behind. Paano natin masisigurado yon? Sa pamamagitan ng pag-institutionalize ng mga ganitong mga policies, ng mga ganitong laws. Okay, moving on, let me just read yung definition of terms ng persons with disability. Etong definition na to ay nagmula sa RA 7277, pero kung makikita po ninyo, ang nakalagay doon is disabled person. And all throughout my presentations, hindi ko po binago kung ano yung nakalagay sa mismong batas, kaya ang makikita natin doon is disabled person. Pero later on, makikita rin natin sa other related laws, saan nagmula na hindi na ginagamit ang disabled person, bagkus pinalitan nito yung disabled person ng persons with disability. Because it is the term na mas appropriate na gamitin compare sa disabled person. Pero then again, yung mga makikita ninyo na mga disabled person, I will read that as persons with disability sa mga slides na susunod. So, sino nga po ba ang persons with disability? Marami. On last July, nung tinignan ko yung bilang ng sa website ng NCDA, on the National Council of Disability Affairs, nasa almost 3 million, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali. Yung mga bilang kasi meron silang mga IDs. Sila ay nasa database ng mga kanya-kanyang mga local government units. Pero I'm sure marami pa rin po ng mga persons with disability ang hindi napapabilang sa figures na iyon. At marami pa rin mga persons with disability ang nananatiling hindi counted. And being counted matters. So persons with disability are persons suffering from restrictions of different abilities. With this, they cannot function normally. They cannot function as they want, as what others may do. Hindi sila nakakagawa ng mga ganon because restricted ang kanilang kilos. Bakit? Because it may be a result of mental, physical, or sensory impairment. And ito yung mga reason bakit restricted ang kanilang movements. Thus, to perform an activity in the manner or within the range considered normal for a human being ay challenging para sa kanila. Kaya, any impairment, whether mental, physical, sensory, na nakakahinder for them na kumilos normally would be a restriction and would pose a very challenging situation and a very challenging environment for them. So, ito po ang person with disability. Ano yung mga provisions sa RA 7277? From 1 to 7, yung nakikita niyo po sa screen, from 1 to 7, these are the specific provisions: employment, education, health, auxiliary services, telecommunications, accessibility, political and civil rights. But the provisions 8 and 9, ito po yung specific provisions na nasa amended version na RA 9442. Kaya atin rin pong pag-uusapan yan mamaya. So, basically, this is the outline ng aking pong magiging presentation for the topic 1. Okay, moving on, pag-usapan na po natin ang employment. Ayan. Employment ay isa sa mga very challenging situations for persons with disability. Pero sinasabi pala sa batas, sinasabi sa RA 7277, that PWD should have an equal opportunity for employment, compensation, benefits, and privileges. No, bibigyan ko po ng diin ito. No persons with disability shall be denied access to opportunities for suitable employment. At makikita natin na, syempre it depends on their capacity, kung ano yung open na position and within the range of their capacity, hindi sila pwedeng stop o bigyan ng statement na hindi ka pwede dito. Because it's the law that encourages that they should have an equal opportunity sa pagtatrabaho o sa pag-e-empleyo. Provided, yun nga po, that they are qualified. And kapag sila ay naandoon na at nakapasok na, they should also have the same conditions, same terms and procedures with able-bodied individuals, same benefits, same privileges. Ibig sabihin, walang distinction whether this is an able-bodied employee or a person with disability employee. So, walang distinction. Pare-pareho sila ng mga dapat matanggap. Next one is employment reservation to PWDs. Sinasabi po dito, 5% of all casual, emergency, contractual positions in the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Health, Education, culture and sports, and other government agencies engaged in social development. Nais ko pong tandaan nyo yung provisions na ito, etong mismong slide na ito. 5% employment reservation. Kasi mamaya, baka malito tayo, may makita tayo mamaya sa mga susunod kong presentation na 1%. Kaya let me emphasize that this 5% is for casual, emergency, and contractual positions in social development agencies only. This law ay naipasa 1992. Kaya marami ng mga amended versions at mamaya ipapakita ko po sa inyo yung isang amended version particular sa provision na ito na 5% at bakit naging mas maganda yung amended version na yun compare dito sa 5% reservation employment sa mga PWDs. Next one, providing sheltered employment for PWDs. Napakaganda ng provision na ito. I remember one time may kausap akong isang developmental pediatrician. Development pediatrician are the ones authorized to give diagnosis sa mga children with disability. Kung sila ay may ASD or Autism Spectrum Disorder, GDD, or global developmental delay, and other diagnosis for children. Napag-usapan namin, paano yung future ng mga child with disability? Na iisip na ba natin yon? Kasi yung mga persons with disability na mga adult, nahihirapan na magkaroon ng employment. So, paano itong mga child with disability ngayon? Kung ang mga able-bodied nga, tayo nga, di ba, napakahirap makahanap ng employment sa panahon ngayon. Concerns pa yung mga promotions. Kung tayo na nakakaranas ng mga ganong challenge, what more are the persons with disability? Kaya naman, this sheltered employment, napakaganda po nito. Kasi this will provide an opportunity for persons with disability na magkaroon ng employment, income-generating projects na kung saan the sheltered employment ay sila yung magmamanage, sila or even a supervised one, tapos ang mga employed ay mga persons with disability. In fact, marami ng mga local governments po ngayon ang may mga sheltered employments, yung nag-i-establish na ng mga sheltered employments. Bakit po napakaganda ng sheltered employment? Kasi limited nga yung opportunity ng mga PWD para makapasok sa isang formal workforce. And this is the solution for them na magkaroon ng mga income. Cafes. Ayan, di ba, usong-uso po ngayon yung mga cafes, restaurant, other LGUs, merong mga established cafes, restaurants, ang employee ay mga PWDs. Even non-government organization or private corporations. So, this sheltered employment ensures that PWD ay merong titignan sa future nila. Some therapy centers for child with disability, lalo na yung may mga programs for independent living, kasi ang dami natin mga therapy centers ngayon at ang dami mga magaganda nilang programa, and one of which is yung for independent living. They harness the entrepreneurial skills of children with disability, and it is a stepping stone. It is a stepping stone for these children with disability for sheltered employment. Parang it's very ideal kung may therapy center na minomold sila na ma-develop yung kanilang entrepreneurial skills, tapos mayroong isang open sheltered employment that they can employ parents of children with disability, ay magkakaroon ng malaking hope. Kasi I know this is a very big concern of parents with children with disability. I'm a member of a forum of autism, GDD, at isa yon sa mga lagi kong concern na nakikita. Paano na yung future ng anak ko? So for parents, I know many ay iniisip na ito, paano yung future ng anak ko? Paano kapag wala na ako? So these are the very big, major concerns for parents with children with disability. At kaya nga we encourage therapy centers, yung mga centers exclusively providing programs for children with disability to come up with programs for independent living kung saan na-extract natin ano yung interest ng bata. Even kung wala naman sa therapy centers, because I know many child with disabilities and many families have a hard time figuring saan kukuha ng mga pambayad sa therapy centers kasi talagang medyo may kamahalan. Kaya some parents ay nananatiling nasa bahay and without therapy yung mga anak. Pero magkaganon man, yung mga nasa bahay, ano ba yung mga distinct skills, interest ng ating mga anak? For example, interest in cooking, interest in drawing. Let's harness those interests para maging isang skills ito na magagamit nila in the future. And ayun nga na sana, ang wish natin, ang dream natin, for an inclusive community and an inclusive society, an inclusive PWD Philippines, ay dumami itong mga sheltered employment na ito for PWDs. Okay, so ayan po, napahaba tayo sa sheltered employment because this is a very ideal one na provisions ng RA 7277. Ang tagal na ng RA 7277, ang tagal na ang sheltered employment ay nakapaloob sa batas na ito. Pero ngayon nakikita natin na nagkakaroon ng katuparan ito. Kaya hindi imposible, hindi imposible na dumami ang mga sheltered employments for PWDs. It just takes a whole of nation approach. Bakit ko po nabanggit iyon? Kasi isa iyon sa panuntunan at pinanggagalingan ng mga batas na ito para magkaroon ng katuparan. Next one, so let's move on sa susunod na provision. Giving incentives for employers who employ persons with disability. To encourage active participation of the private sector in promoting the welfare of disabled persons and to ensure gainful employment for qualified disabled persons. And itong mga private sectors na ito, private corporations, nakikita natin, for example, SM, Jollibee, ay nag-employ ng mga PWDs and they are entitled for a certain incentives dahil they provide opportunities for PWDs. And marami, aside from them, dumadami na rin ang mga private institutions that provides equal employment opportunities for PWDs. Next one, private entities that employ persons with disability who meet the required skills or qualifications either as a regular employee, apprentice, or learner shall be entitled to an additional deduction from their gross income. So it's not only the corporation, but also the persons themselves, but of course, subjected to the procedures of yung mga government financial institutions natin. Pero they give priority na magkaroon ng incentives and these privileges para sa mga employed PWDs. Establishing vocational rehabilitation for PWDs. Our government ay merong run na vocational center. National Vocation Rehabilitation Center. Ito po ay nasa Manila. It provides free trainings, skills development, and social rehabilitation services. Dito sila tinuturuan ng mga other skills like yung paggawa ng mga furniture and yung self-development, maaaring how they should carry themselves through trainings and seminars. And that is for employment. So yun po yung mga provisions ng batas for employment. Because now, we will move on sa education. Sa education po, ngayon nakikita natin that the government, the DepEd, have a particular space na, particular programs, and particular attention sa mga children with disability. It is because the law states that all PWDs should have equal access to opportunity sa pag-aaral. Pagdating naman po sa education, lahat naman po, di ba, sabi, lahat ay may karapatan na maka-access sa quality education. Kabilang na rito yung mga PWDs. And for some PWDs who having a hard time na ma-sustain yung pag-aaral ng kanilang mga anak, the law also provides specific provisions paano matutulungan ang mga pamilya na ito. And that is through provision of financial assistance to economically marginalized but deserving disabled students pursuing post-secondary or tertiary education. Nagbibigay na ngayon, di ba, ng mga scholarship programs for high school, for college, at naka-integrate na dito ang mga persons with disability. But some local government units provided specific financial assistance to children with disability na nasa elementary, nasa high school. And these are regular services ng mga specific agencies na ito. Bakit na ina-emphasize natin itong dalawang ito? Access to quality education, assistance to students with disability. Because this will show an inclusive learning environment na kung saan binibigyan natin ng prioridad ang mga children with disability, students with disability, and hindi lamang equal opportunity, pero when we talk of equity, nakaka-access sila sa mga resources na dati ay nahihirapan silang makamit. Because dati, walang mga special education or may special education, pero hindi naman lahat natatanggap. Pero ngayon, walang child with disability ang hindi pwedeng tanggapin ng mga schools. Ang nakakalungkot nga lang po, because maaaring ngayon pa lamang tayo nagsisimulang maging mulat sa mga napupukaw yung ating kamalayan sa mga dapat gawin for persons with disability. Minsan may mga mababasa tayo na mga hinaing na mga parents with disability na yung anak nila, though ang school ay natanggap ng child with disability, ma-mainstream sa regular classroom, pero minsan nakakausap or kinakausap sila ng teacher na wag munang papasukin kasi nakakapanakit, which wala namang magulang ang nais na mangyari yung ganon. Kaya lang for child with disability, some ay paglalabas ng kanilang yung outlet because of their energy, yung mga bagay na ganoon, though they themselves ay hindi naman nais makapanakit din ng iba. So the awareness and the training, siguro this is something that we could work on pa. Maaaring marami pa tayong kailangang gawin sa aspeto na ito. Yes, inclusive na ang education, tinatanggap na yung mga child with disability sa regular schools, pero something that we could enhance more, improve more, is the trainings for teachers, trainings for personnel, how to handle child with disability, students with disability. And I think this is both for elementary, high school, and tertiary level. So how to handle PWDs, because this is a major concern ngayon. Kasi may mga batas na guidelines na tayo na lumalabas na hindi natin pwedeng hindian ang mga student with disability. So therefore, kung hindi, prepare the personnel, prepare the teachers how to handle them. And I know many teachers are already well-trained, pero sa dami, katulad nga po na nabanggit ko kanina, millions ang PWDs, and how much more, ilan doon, kung i-extract natin sa numero na yon, ilan doon ang mga students with disability. The ratio ay hindi proportion.
Okay. So, ay bumalik po muli sa ating naiwan kanina. Kanina ay nakapagtapos tayo dito sa assistance to persons with disability students, yung provision po ng financial assistance. Ano po? Now, let us proceed sa special education. Sa special education, RA 7277 states that there should be a complete, adequate, and integrated system of special education for the visually impaired, hearing impaired, mentally retarded persons. But we have to correct this because tandaan po natin that the law, 1992 pa po ito, na institutionalized o na-sign, pero now we are not using mentally retarded persons. Instead, we use intellectual disability and other types of exceptional children in all regions of the country. At matatandaan natin that DepEd, meron silang SNED or the Special Needs Education. So, ito yung SNED caters to students na may mga special needs, which yung mga teachers are devoted and trained to handle such students na may mga ganitong conditions. And we promote na sana these educational institutions,
Recording in progress.
aside from having dedicated teachers, ay merong mga appropriate resources na pwede magamit ng mga bata. One example is yung mga braille and record libraries. However, kung titignan natin, meron. Pero isa rin siguro ito sa pwede nating i-advocate na lahat ng mga schools na nag-accommodate ng mga students with disability, ang mga libraries ay properly equipped with this one. Kung hindi man, ay we know the limitations of some agencies, pero we can do partnership and linkaging para makapag-provide ng mga proper resources. Next is, tapos na tayo sa employment, sa education. Punta naman po tayo ngayon sa health. Providing rehabilitation centers for persons with disability. And the DOH ang itinilaga upang makita yung welfare and development ng mga PWDs when it comes to rehabilitation. Ito, if I'm not mistaken po, ito ay integrated sa mga hospitals ng DOH and also yung mga private hospitals, integrated itong mga rehabilitation facilities for persons with disability. Maganda lang po, again, merong mga ilang local government units ang with resources and with good partners, private partners. So nagkakaroon sila ng private-public partnership na mismo doon sa LGU ay nagkakaroon ng rehabilitation facilities for persons with disability. Next is integrated health service for PWDs, the prevention, detection, and early intervention. One good example po dito is yung mga vaccine. Yung mga vaccine na binibigay ng mga RHU, it could prevent disability, like yung mga polio and other type of disability. Yung ibang, again, mga other LGUs, meron silang mga programs initiated by PDAO, the Persons with Disability Affairs Offices, na kung saan they partnered with doctors, developmental pediatricians, and other health personnel para for early detection and early intervention. Napakahalaga na yung mga local government units natin sa pangunguna ng PDAO ay magkaroon ng mga ganitong programa because the assessment, the screening ay napakamahal. Kung titignan natin, hindi po birong halaga yung amount ng initial assessment. Initial assessment pa lamang yon. Wala pa doon yung mga i-recommend ng mga therapies. Kaya the partnership with other private institutions ay mahalagang ma-explore. Then medical treatment and rehabilitation. For this one, medical treatment and rehabilitation, aside from health, other social services na bibigay naman ng mga assistance like financial para for continuous medical treatment of PWDs. Okay, wait lang po. Nasaan ba yung kanyang? So next one is auxiliary social services. So marginalized PWDs are provided with necessary auxiliary services. Ano-ano po itong mga ito? So first is the assistance in the acquisition of prosthetic devices. So ngayon, hindi lang mga prosthetic devices, meron din po yung mga other assistive devices like wheelchairs, hearing aids, ayan, cranes, and yung mga iba pa na makakatulong sa mobility ng PWDs, nakakapag-provide ang government and maraming non-government organizations for PWDs, nakakapag-provide sila ng mga to. Some private organizations partnered with LGUs para makapagbigay ng free hearing aids kasi hindi po ito mura. Yung mga prosthetics, alam po natin napakamahal ng mga yan, pero nagkakaroon ng katuparan dahil sa partnership ng mga ganon. Provision of specialized training activities. So this will improve yung mga limitations ng PWDs, especially on self-development, ayan, and other skills na pwedeng ma-develop sa kanila. Development among persons with disability to have a positive self-image. Other auxiliary social services is the provision of substitute family care services. Ang maganda po ngayon na nangyayari sa atin, the PDAO in itself, the organization in itself sa mga LGUs, nagkakaroon ng other programs and services kung saan nag-gather na i-strengthen yung mga families with PWDs, with continuous capability buildings, yung mga seminars na yan, na i-equip yung mga families na nangangalaga sa mga PWDs. Kasi ang active ng mga PWD organizations natin ngayon. Kaya malaking tulong sila sa mga families ng may mga PWDs para malaman ano ba yung pwede kong gawin. Because it's very challenging na for them, lalo na yung walang enough knowledge, how can I handle, for example, yung mga ASD, mga GDDs, na bago sa kanila yung mga ganitong situations. And it is very overwhelming. Ano po, kaya with substitute family care services, strengthening the family, ang laking tulong sa pagbibigay sa kanila ng knowledge and skills, paano ko gagampanan yung aking roles and responsibilities sa aking family member na isang PWD. Provision of aftercare and follow-up services, yung mga nanggaling sa rehabilitation centers, I must admit, wala pa po ako nababalitaan ng ganito, but the law provided na magkaroon ng aftercare and follow-up services. Now, let us move on sa telecommunications. Ano po? Nandiyan yung broadcast media, telephone services, free postal charges for the disabled. Sa broadcast media, ito yung andito yung mga television shows, particularly PTV4 nga po ba yun? Yung may nagsa-sign language, ano po? Bakit may mga ganon? Because it is mandated by the law. Lalo na yung mga stories, yung news, ano po? Stories that have national significance na sila man ay hindi dapat may iwanan. Ano yung mga current trends? Ano yung nangyayari sa ating lipunan sa ngayon? Lalo na yung makakaapekto o nakakaapekto sa kanila. Kaya yung mga provision ng sign language sa mga news and other mga palabas ngayon ay good practices para magpapakita na talagang inclusive yung ating society. Sa telephone services, yung ating, not only yung mga telecoms, but yung mga smartphones natin ngayon, di po ba? Equipped na siya ng mga accessibility features. I remember during the mid-90s or late 90s, siguro yung iba, kung maaalala nyo pa, nagkaroon ng commercial na two couples na nagpapalitan ng text messaging. Yung wala pang smartphone noong panahon na yon, mid-90s to late 90s, wala pang masyadong smartphone noong panahon na yon. So, ang pinakauso noon, ang patok noon, yung text messaging, yung SMS. This commercial features a couple, na nagpapalitan ng messages dahil magkakaroon sila ng lunch or dinner date. Kung aking natatandaan, magkakaroon sila ng date, dahil yung babae ay nasa work, yung lalaki ay nandun na sa restaurant. So, sa pagpapalitan nila ng text messaging, ang twist, pagdating ng babae doon sa restaurant kung saan sila magde-date, nag-sign language silang dalawa. So, they are both persons with disability. Ano yung impact ng commercial na yon? Pinakita nun na PWD with the advent of technology through telephone use at other features, wala nang barriers sa communication. Wala nang social barriers din sa pakikipag-relationship with kapwa PWDs. So, ang laki naging impact ng commercial na yon because it shows na just again, the society ay nagiging inclusive for persons with disability. Pero that is mid to late 90s. Ang dami nang nagbago ngayon sa mga telephone features natin, sa mga cellphones natin. So, ibig sabihin, mas naging inclusive ngayon. At PWD, how they navigate our world, yung paano gumagalaw ang isang able-bodied. Kahit na pupunta sila sa isang lugar, may feature yung phone na doon nila pinapakinggan. Kaya napakahalagang device sa kanila yung mga cellphones ngayon. Then, this free postal charges for the disabled. Though stated in 7277, etong free postal charges ay for pagpapadala ng mga books, learning materials, teaching aids na gamit ng persons with disability, or even yung mga pagpapadala ng mga prosthetics, using yung ating mga post office. So, it is provided in the law na free. Pero alam natin ngayon, again, ang batas na to ay 1992, pero alam natin ngayon, ang dami ng mga platforms and other ways para makapag-exchange or trades ng mga PWD items na pwede nilang gamitin. Now, let us move on sa isa sa mga pinakamahalagang features ng 7277, and that is accessibility. In accessibility, ano ba yung gusto ng mga persons with disability? Makagalaw sa isang barrier-free environment. So, the end goal is to attain a barrier-free environment. Pero later on, let us see barrier-free environment. Ano ba ang gusto talaga nila? Hindi lamang ito physical environment. Kasama dito yung social environment. And in accessibility, access sa mga public and private buildings and establishments. Actually, itong accessibility na to, hindi na ito bago. Meron tayong isang batas na bago pa itong RA 7277, bago pa mag-1992, may isang batas na that see to it yung welfare ng persons with disability. And that is the Batas Pambansa Bilang 344 or yung Accessibility Law, which was signed by then former President Marcos Sr., na kung saan itong BP 344 hanggang sa ngayon, ito ay patuloy na inaamyendahan at ito ang pamantayan ng mga dapat meron ang public infrastructures like the ramps. At alam natin na makikita natin yung mga rampa. Yes, makakakita tayo ng rampa. Pero is it according to the standard built by this BP 344 or accessibility law? Yes, ang BP 344 ay merong standard na sinasabi ano yung sukat. Sukat ng slope, sukat ng handrail. Pag pumunta ka sa isang public infrastructure, nag-CR ka na naka-wheelchair, meron dapat na dedicated cubicle for you. At hindi lang basta dedicated cubicle. Meron ba itong handrails, grab bars? Ang mga standards na to ay makikita natin sa BP 344 or the Accessibility Law. So again, ang tagal na ng batas na to. Kaya BP pa siya, batas pambansa pa siya. Early 80s pa ito. With that provision, kaya naman the government allocate funds for access provision in all government buildings. I remember, isa hindi matagal na panahon, kailan lang na the DILG consistently monitor the local government units compliance with this accessibility law. They monitor, hindi lang basta dapat may rampa, hindi lang basta dapat may CR, they even measured it. And kung hindi, they recommend na ito ay mapabago. Kaya we advocate for the continuity of that monitoring kasi it ensures na hindi lang basta compliance, kung hindi talagang nagagamit ng mga persons with disability, ano man yung nakikita nila ng mga infrastructure para sa kanila. Because this is not only for nakikita natin, ay, nagko-comply ang building na to, nagko-comply yung company na to, nagko-comply yung LGU na to, kasi nakikita natin. Pero hindi lang yon. Nakikita natin at nagagamit ng tama ng persons with disability. Another sa accessibility ay mobility of and PWD's privileges to drive motor vehicles. Yes, pwede po. Provided by it is within their capability. May kakayanan. And sino yung magdedetermine nito? Siyempre, subject pa rin sila sa rules and procedures ng Land Transportation Office. Ayan, system of voting. Lahat tayo have the right to vote. And walang ine-exclude dito. So even the PWD. Pero how about PWDs who are visually impaired or may limitations para makaboto? Hindi iyon hadlang. Ano po? Because RA 7277 states that kapag may challenge na gano'n sa PWD, another trusted persons can be allowed to assist a PWD para makaboto during national or local elections. With regards sa mga polling places, di ba marami namang mga polling places talaga namang sa mga schools ginagawa, which meron sa mga second and third floors. Pero it is advocated by this law na maging accessible. And I also remember there is one non-government organization that nakikipag-partner sa mga local government units para mai-advocate na yung mga polling places for PWDs ay mapunta sa ground floor. At kung hindi man, there should be special assistance that can be provided para sa mga PWDs na may nahirap makapunta sa mga upper floors. Right to assemble. Ayan. Sa political and civil rights naman tayo. Ang nakakatuwa po ngayon, dahil nga lumalabas na yung mga PWDs, nabibilang na sila, yung organisasyon ng or association of PWDs ay mga active. Makakakita tayo ng PWD because it is mandated by the law, not only by 7277, that there should be PWD association in every barangays, elevated and federated in cities, municipalities, and provinces. So sa bawat level ng ating pamahalaan ay merong active PWD association dapat. And this will be elevated and federated in the regional and national level. So yung role ng mga PWD association ay napakahalaga. If we are familiar, lalo na kung may mga PWD na nakikinig o nanonood sa atin ngayon, I know you hear yung credo ng mga PWD na nothing about us without us. And one example para maisabuhay ito, yung mga bawat konseho, yung mga local councils, di po ba may mga local councils tayo from mula barangay levels hanggang national levels, it is a must na dapat merong representante na PWD. And kalimitan, ang nagre-represent sa mga PWDs ay itong leaders ng mga PWD associations. At bakit napaka-importante o hindi pwedeng walang PWD sa mga konseho na ito? Kasi ano ba yung pinag-uusapan ng mga councils na ito? Yung issues, problems sa PWDs. Yung mga solusyon, ano yung mga programs and services para sa PWD. Kaya hindi pwedeng walang PWD nakaupo sa konseho na yon. Kasi non-PWD could not answer the very root of the problem na nararanasan ng mga PWDs. Kaya naman, they are PWDs are very loud in saying nothing about us without us. And isa na doon, ang pagkakaroon ng mga policies with itong mga laws na to, that they should be consulted. Kaya naman, dapat din nating bigyan ng pagkilala yung mga sa mga local government units, yung mga policy makers in LGUs and in the regional and national levels, yung mga policy makers na bumababad, kumukonsulta sa mga PWDs bago maghain ng mga appropriate policies. Kasi ang mga polisiya na ito ay yung mga nakapaloob sa polisiya na yon ng mga programa ay pag-a-address doon sa mga problemang in-identify mismo ng mga PWDs. And walang programs and services sana na hindi nakukonsulta yung mga PWDs. Kasi in that case, it will only be wastage of resources. Kasi hindi nito matutugunan yung tunay na problema at hindi nito narinig yung tunay na hinaing ng PWDs. So sayang lang kung magkakaroon ng mga programs and services that will not truly address yung problems nila. Ayan, so punta na po tayo sa provisions ng RA 9442. And that is the granting of the 20% discount. Marami tayong naririnig na ganito, both for PWDs and senior citizens. So, sino-sino yung mga dapat mag-grant ng 20% discount sa mga PWDs? So, una na yung mga hotels and similar establishments. At saan gamit na gamit ng mga PWDs ang discounts sa mga restaurants, sa mga groceries, ano po. Pero, isa sa mga requirements para ma-avail nila yung 20% discounts sa mga groceries and even medicines is yung booklet, ano po. So, later, pag-usapan pa natin siya. So, the restaurants and other recreational facilities are mandated to provide 20% discount sa mga PWDs. Yung admission fees sa mga sinihan, ano po, and other recreational or amusement parks. So, yung mga related establishments, they are mandated to provide discounts sa PWDs. Hindi dito natatapos yung mga privileges sa PWDs sa 20% discount. Because again, there are already many local government units, hindi lang 20% discount yung binibigay nila. They even provided free panonood ng sine, and a provision of groceries during special occasions. So, ibig sabihin lang po nun, hindi nakukulong ang pagbibigay ng programa at serbisyo sa kung ano ang nakatalaga sa batas. The government can always ensure ano yung mga pwede pang ibigay sa ating mga persons with disability that will promote their development. And they will enjoy yung mga rights na nakasaad dito. And purchase of medicine in all drugstores for the exclusive use of PWDs. And not only 20% discount in availment of medicines and groceries, may mga makikita rin tayo ng mga special lanes for them, di po ba? Along with senior citizens and pregnant women. With purchase of medicines and purchase of groceries, nabanggit ko nga po kanina, para ma-avail natin ito is hindi lamang ID ang dala natin, kung hindi yung booklet. When it comes naman po sa groceries, yes, maaring hindi lahat ay nabibigyan, hindi lahat ng items ay nabibigyan ng discount because ang priority ay yung mga basic necessities and prime commodities na solely use of persons with disability. Kaya halimbawa, bibili tayo sa grocery, makikita natin alin lamang doon yung may mga minus, yung may mga discounts. So, hindi lahat. Po. So again, the prime basic necessities and prime commodities. Medical and dental services, they can also, kapag sila'y nagpa-check up, nagpa-laboratories, and other medical procedures, they are entitled to a 20% discount. PWD shall also be entitled sa mga discount sa medical and dental services na yung mga attending physicians, yung sa mga doctors, professional fees. And of course, yung sa mga fares sa domestic air and sea travel. Kahit na, halimbawa, di ba usong-uso na po ngayon ng online, kahit online ka mag-avail, the PWD could avail the 20% discount. Kasi kapag online, di ba may tinitik po doon, may tanong doon, are you a PWD? Ano po, ititik lamang natin doon and you will be prompted to upload your PWD ID. Ano yung nakalagay ng mga information doon para maka-avail ng 20% discount even online yung purchase ng mga tickets. At hindi lang sa mga local and international air and sea travels, syempre ito yung lagi nating naririnig pag sumasakay tayo sa mga PUJs, public utility jeepneys and buses na PWD po. So para mabigyan ng instant discount. And again, po, hindi lang 20% discount sa mga PUJs and PUBs, there is a dedicated space para sa kanila. Kung mapapansin natin, the LTFRB nga ba yung nagbigay ng mandato na yon that there should be stickers sa mga jeepneys na nakalagay doon sa pag-akyat mo ng jeep that these are priority seats for persons with disability. And not only the 20% discount, but the educational assistance to PWDs na nasa elementary, high school, and nasa college level. And this one, ang pondo na inilalaan sa educational assistance na ito ay nanggagaling din sa mandato ng isang polisiya na dapat mayroong 1% of the total budget of each local government units, 1% of that ay mailaan sa senior citizen and PWDs. And from there, ay nakakakuha ng budget for the exclusive use of senior citizen and PWDs. Sino yung pwede mag-avail? So, not all, because it is only the privilege of PWD who are Filipino citizen. And these privileges may not be claimed kung may mas higher discount na. Diba some establishment offers more than 20% discount lalo na kapag may mga promo. So kung yun ay na-avail at yun yung i-avail natin, na dapat yun yung i-avail natin kasi mas mataas, so yung 20% discount, hindi na natin ma-avail. So whichever is higher. So that is both true for senior citizen and PWD IDs. Provided that meron tayong ganito, yung mga PWD natin. So sample lamang po yan. A PWD ID issued by your local government units through PDAO or through Persons with Disability Affairs Offices, kung saan nakalagay yung type of disability. This type of disability, very specific yung dapat nakalagay dito and hindi basta-basta mag-i-input ng anong type of disability. Kaya naman, one of the requirements, kaya hinihingi, bago ka makakuha nito, hinihingi ang medical certificate issued by a doctor. Kasi sila ang maglalagay doon sa medical certificate anong type of disability. Napaka-crucial po kasi nito kasi the NCDA identifies ano yung mga types of disability. Example lamang po, not only physical disability, psychosocial. Psychosocial disability. Dahil ang daming non-apparent disability. At yung mga non-apparent disability na ito can include learning disability, intellectual disability, visual disability, maaaring apparent pa ito. Kaya ngayon may mga makakapal na glasses, yung may mga hard of seeing, they could be considered PWD, pero of course not all, kasi may specific, ano po man tawag doon, yung measure, yung grado, yung specific grado ng salamin para ma-consider na PWD. Yung mga hard of hearing, ayan. So there are many non-apparent disability, kaya napaka-importante na appropriately nakastate dito ano yung type of disability. So even cancer, pero and there is a specific law that will explain paano, halimbawa yung cancer or nagkaroon ka ng other critical illness. Pero ano yung na-impede sa'yo, ano yung na-restrict sa'yo na movements. So, ang makakapagpatunay lang nun at ang only authorized na makapaglagay nun ay our medical doctors. Okay, so after the 20% discount na provision ng RA 9442, let us now move on sa prohibitions on verbal, non-verbal ridicule, and vilification against persons with disability. Malinaw sa batas na any act of making fun or contemptuous imitating or making mockery of persons with disability, whether in writing or in words or in actions, due to their impairments, ay ipinagbabawal. Sino po yung mga nagti-TikTok dito? Na daanan nyo ba, hindi, itong mga nakaraan lang yun this year lang yun, nadaanan nyo ba yung trend, nakalimutan ko na yung pangalan ng trend na yon, pero yung trend na ginagaya yung PWD, it is a blatant mockery ng sa mga PWDs. Kasi sasabay ka sa trend na yon, able-bodied, sasabay ka sa trend na yon, tapos gagayahin mo yung actions ng isang PWD. Bakit, di ba? So, hindi ito nakakatuwa. Ito ay mariin natin kinokondena. Ito ay kinokondena ng mga advocates ng rights and welfare of PWD. Kasi wala tayong makukuha doon. At mas idinidiin pa natin ang mga PWDs sa sitwasyon na mas makakapagbigay sa kanila ng hindi suporta ng pakiramdam na hindi sila belong sa ating society, na sila ay kinukutya. Yun nga yung purpose nung bakit meron tayong mga ganitong batas, para maiahon sila sa ganung mindset at ganung kondisyon. Utterance of slanderous and abusive statements. Pero sometimes, ano yung nakakalungkot? Sometimes, it's the relatives pa yung gumagawa nito. Sometimes, tingin natin it is a joke. Pero it is very offending for persons with disability. An activity in public which incites hatred, lalo na nating ipinagbabawal ito. Last year lang ba yun, yung lumabas sa social media na may binugbog na PWD? Kasi parang, dahil nga, there are PWDs that are not conscious, kahit gustuhin, there are different conditions. They are not conscious na nakakapanakit na sila. Pero, hindi man nila ito ginusto. So, parang yun yung naging reason yata, kaya siya nabugbog. At hindi lang isa, kung hindi several sila. So, that is something na PWDs are protected by this law, by this RA 9442. And yun yung makikita natin na ang layo na ng progreso na napuntahan ng Pilipinas from RA 7277 up to this moment. Kasi ang dami ng mga batas na pumoprotekta sa mga persons with disability at hindi ito tumipigil. Kaya kung makikita natin kung may mga bagong Republic Acts na nakalagay doon, amended RA 7277, there are specific provisions na may bagong concerns, problema na lumabas ang isang PWD, the government always acted upon yung mga issues and concerns na yon through legislations. So, ito ay isang pagsasabuhay nung tema nung ating National Disability Rights Week, nung nakaraang buwan. Pagsasabuhay na through legislations na bibigyan ng solusyon yung mga problemang kinakaharap ng ating mga persons with disability. Kaya naman, we encourage yung institutionalization ng mga policies na ito. Next is other disability-related laws for PWDs. Kanina napag-usapan natin yung BP 344 na nabanggit ko nga po na ito ay 1983 pa signed. Kapag pag nag-uumpisa po akong mag-talks, lalo na ang audience ay persons with disability, I encourage them na to imagine, and for PWD, not to imagine, but to ask, but to really ask them, kapag lumabas ka ng bahay mo at pupunta ka sa lugar na pupuntahan mo, kapag naglakad ka mula sa bahay mo o nag-commute ka papunta doon sa pupuntahan mo, do you navigate it well? Do you navigate yung daanan normally? Wala bang mga obstacles? Or nakapunta ka ba ng matiwasay doon sa pupuntahan mo mula sa iyong bahay? Many or always, many will answer no. So, some, at tayo nga lang, di ba, able-bodied, pag naglakad, may nakaharang na poste. So, it's not a conducive journey. Ano po? What more for persons with disability? And isa yon sa nais i-address ng BP 344 that the environment na kinikilusan ng isang PWD should be barrier-free. A barrier-free environment. Bakit sinasabi ito ng mga PWDs na inclusive environment? Because a barrier, physical environment. Kapag sila ay nakapag-navigate dito ng matiwasay, walang problema, hindi naman nila mararamdaman sa liit PWD kung ikaw ay naka-wheelchair na smoothly you could travel yung iyong community na walang problema kahit wala kang assistance. Hindi mo naman mararamdaman na meron kang limitations because you can freely move. Kaya naman, not only yung sa mga daan, but through infrastructures. At yun yung sinasaba dito ng BP 344 na yung mga facilities natin should be accessible to all PWDs. Next related law is yung RA 10524, which is an act expanding the positions reserved for persons with disability. Natatandaan niyo po kanina, yung una natin sa RA 7277, yung reservation of 5% of positions for PWD sa mga social development agencies. Ayun, ano yung kaibahan niya dito? Dito, 1% of positions should be allotted sa PWD. Lumiit, pero hindi. From 5% to 1%, mas lumaki pa siya. Why? Because kanina, yung 5%, limited yung scope niya. Social development agencies lang. Pero dito, sa Republic Act 10524, that 1% opens all employment to PWDs in government agencies. So all positions. Again, within the capacity of the PWD. So this is, again, a hallmark law when it comes to employment kasi this provide equal opportunity for persons with disability na magkaroon ng opportunity sa pag-e-empleyo. So, hindi lamang ito for able-bodied, but this is open for PWDs. Another is the Republic Act number 170 or 10070, which is the institutional mechanism to ensure the implementation of programs and services for PWDs in every province, city, and municipality. Ano yung naging kagandahan nung naisa batas ito? This establishes the PDAO. This establishes the Persons with Disability Affairs Offices sa every cities, municipalities, and provinces. Pero, for the 4th, 5th, and lower class municipalities, it's not mandated na magkaroon ng PDAO, but a focal person. Again, anong kagandahan na merong PDAO ang bawat local government units? Merong isang exclusive office na tutuon o mag-monitor sa mga pangangailangan, needs, and rights ng PWDs. At hindi lang yon. Merong isang office na mag-a-advocate ng mga polisiya pa na nakikita niya na nagiging problem na maa-address ang polisiya na to sa mga nakikita ng problema ng mga PWDs on that specific locations. Another provision of this law is yung nabanggit ko po kanina bago ako mag-umpisa ng hindi ko binago yung mga terms sa RA 7277 na disabled person dun sa aking slide. Pero ito ay binabasa ko as persons with disability because in RA 170, it references that all disabled persons in RA 7277 must be mapalitan ng persons with disability. So this is under the 10070. And in fact, this 10070 also provides opportunity for employment ng PWD because with the establishment of or a specific office for PWDs, hindi lang naman opisina yung na-create doon. Even the positions, priority na ma-employ doon yung mga PWDs. Okay, so that ends yung first topic. Okay po, so now, can we move on to the second topic, which is the disability rights mainstreaming, building inclusive institutions and communities. So when we say mainstreaming, PWDs have equal access sa mga resources. They participate fairly in all levels of decision makings, whether in the grassroots levels and up to the national levels. The environment are barrier-free, whether it is a physical environment or a social environment. So, mainstreaming. And in that order, they can enjoy an inclusive communities. In this presentation sa topic 2, allow me to present ano ba yung mga kapamaraanan para ma-mainstream ang mga PWDs through, ang mga ipapresent ko po dito ay through two international commitments, and that is the Incheon Strategy and the Jakarta Declaration. The Incheon Strategy allow me to use it in explaining mainstreaming PWDs, even though ito ay for the past decade pa, for the past Asia and Pacific decades for persons with disability, which is 2013 to 2022, because this Incheon Strategy is the only international commitment that provides measurable goals, definite metrics for mainstreaming persons with disability. With this, yung sumunod, yung pinakabago ngayon, yung the Jakarta Declaration, which is 2023 to 2032, hindi naman niya totally pinalitan ang Incheon Strategy. It doesn't totally replace Incheon Strategy, but it enhances the attainment of the goal of the Incheon Strategy. If the Incheon Strategy have 10 goals, the Jakarta have 6 priority areas. At kung makikita natin, mas in-enhance niya ang mga goals stated by Incheon Strategy. Incheon Strategy and Jakarta Declaration, these are the third and fourth decades already of persons with disability. Sino yung nagtatalaga ng mga decades na ito for persons with disability? It's the United Nations, which is specifically the ESCAP, or the Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific, which is the arm of UN sa pagtingin, pag-aral nung ano yung mga problems encountered by PWDs and how they can be addressed upon through legislations. At fortunately, na hindi rin naman talaga lagi nagpapahuli ang Pilipinas, isa ang Pilipinas na naman nag-ratify ng international commitment na ito. Kaya naman, ang dami nating nakikita ngayon ng mga policies, legislations, even guidelines with regards sa addressing ng concerns ng mga PWDs. So let me start with what is stated in the Incheon Strategy. As I enumerate this, sana ay ma-internalize po natin, sana ay ma-internalize natin dahil kung ito ay maisa sa buhay, yung sinasabi nating mainstreaming and making an inclusive environment for PWDs ay maisa sa katuparan natin. First, persons with disability should be respected. Yes, we know everyone should be respected. Kahit, regardless of age, gender, sexuality, kahit sino. But we provide special provisions for this in this international commitment, kasi yung nakita natin kanina sa 9442, di ba? Laging subject ang PWD sa mga ridicule, sa discrimination, sa mga abuses. Second is for PWD to be able to make their own choices. Hindi dahilan na sila ay PWD para hindi sila mapakinggan. Hindi dahilan na sila ay PWD kaya hindi sila kasama sa mga usaping dapat ay kasama sila, lalo na kung ang usaping ito ay magbibigay ng proteksyon, magbibigay ng mga programa at serbisyo para sa kanila. Again, babalik tayo doon sa credo nila that nothing about us without us. Persons with disability should not be discriminated. Ito ay international commitment. Ito ay a vision of what PWD should enjoy. Pero paano nagkakaroon to ng katuparan? Lalo na itong not to be discriminated. Nagkakaroon to ng katuparan sa mga legislations. And one example ay yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, which is the RA 9442. So, nakikita natin na meron tayong vision for PWDs. And yung vision na yon dapat makamit, di po ba? At para makamit yung vision na yon, makapag-establish tayo ng iba't ibang mga legislations, policies, laws na magpapatibay para makamit nila yung mga vision na ito. For PWDs, be able to participate in society the same way as everyone else. Have equal chances to go to school, get jobs, to vote, be elected, go to market, and do everything that everyone else does. Saan natin nakita to? Kanina lang, di po ba? So nakita natin to kanina lang na sa RA 7277, sa employment, sa education, sa accessibility, kumpleto yung naka isa-isa dito na sinasagot na siya ng RA 7277. So it's in the implementation. And hindi lang naman sa legislation dapat matapos, because legislation is walang bisa ang legislation na ma-address ang concerns ng mga PWDs kung walang appropriate programs and services. So therefore, legislations must be translated into programs and services. Dahil nais natin na ang mga legislations hindi lang nababasa. Nais natin na ito ay nakikita. Nais natin na ito ay nararamdaman ng mga persons with disability. Next, be able to access information easily. So through the use of the technology, napakalaking tulong ng technology ngayon sa ating mga PWDs. Wala nang barriers sa communication and even sa pagkuha ng mga information. But I think what we need to work on more is in the education side, yung nabanggit ko po kanina, na access on educational materials for students with disability. Kasi halimbawa yung sa library, yung mga reading materials, paano yung mga visually impaired or having hard time na makabasa o makasulat. So what are other initiatives that agencies could do for this information to be accessible for PWDs? So be able to use public transportation to go to different places. So sinagot na ito kanina ng accessibility. Pero ayun nga po, hindi dahil sinagot na ng isang legislation ay okay na. Kaya naman PWDs always regularly advocates that these visions, that these legislations ay may matranslate sa na-enjoy nila dapat ng mga programs and services. Men with disabilities and women with disability, and this is a gender issue as well, should be treated equally. Children with disabilities should be respected in the same way that all other children are respected. What we need is a massive advocacy. Ano po? Because present pa rin sa lipunan natin ngayon yung mga stigma Kaya there are many child with disability who experience bullying. Bullying from their classmates, from the parents of their classmates. Kaya instead na nais nila na sa regular school, hindi na lang kasi nakaka-experience sila ng mga ganito. This is a very big burden sa mga parents of child with disability. Pero with massive advocacy and trained personnel, ano po, siguro nag-uumpisa na tayo dito, pero there are more that we could work on too para ma-mainstream ang mga child with disability, student with disability sa mainstream of our society. Poor persons with disabilities and their families should receive help. To make good policies, government should properly count persons with disabilities. And I know naman ngayon, merong effective and efficient database for persons with disability. That is why they are counted. Pero, ayun nga, kung merong mga PWDs that are not yet counted, wala pa sa kaalaman ng kanilang mga local government units, to encourage their families, na ipabilang itong PWDs na ito. Ang bilang na ito ay hindi lang numero. Ang bilang na ito ay istorya ng buhay ng isang PWD na mabibigyan natin ng solusyon anuman yung kanilang mga kinakaharap na concerns. And para, ma-enjoy nila yung mga rights nila. Kaya sa mga not counted PWDs out there, be counted, for you to enjoy your rights. Dahil malaking bagay yung figures, lalo na sa pag-i-institutionalize ng mga legislations na ito. Persons with disability should take part in decision-making. Again, the credo of nothing about us without us. Kaya naman, again, sa mga konseho, merong mga equal representative ang mga PWDs on the local, the provincial, and national level na bumuboses sa mga concerns ng PWDs. Okay, so moving on. I hope ay audible pa naman po ako kahit malakas ang ulan. So all disability group should feel good about themselves, of course. Lalo na itong mga interest groups na ito, mga active disability groups na ito, dahil sa kanila nakakapag-lobby ng mga policies, dahil sa kanila naririnig yung boses ng mga PWDs. They form the collective voices of PWDs na kung saan, sila yung merong mismong karanasan. At kaya sila ay yung mga madali at dapat nating pakinggan. Organizations of and for persons with disability and self-help advocacy group should take part in making decisions. And that is why pinapalakas natin yung ating mga association ng mga persons with disability through provisions of different programs and services, including capability buildings and other necessary support. At yung network nila ay pinapalakas at pinapalawak natin para naman naririnig yung boses nila. Allow me to enumerate yung 10 goals ng insurance strategy. Again, these goals, hindi ito tumigil lamang nung hanggang 2022. Ito rin mismo yung goals na ine-enhance ng Jakarta Declaration. The number 1 goal is reduce the number of poor persons with disabilities and increase jobs for persons with disabilities. Kaya, kung meron ng provision ng employment sa RA 7277, bakit pa nagkaroon ng another provisions sa RA 10524 of 1%? Kasi pinalawak nito yung scope ng kung saan pwedeng ma-access ng PWDs ang employment. Goal 2 is promote participation in political processes and in decision-making. Again, kung ang isang konseho na nagdedesisyon, nag-uusap para sa welfare ng persons with disability, kung ang isang body na yon ay walang PWD members, they are blinded by what is really happening in the grounds. Paano masasagot ang isang problema kung walang nakaupo mismo na isang tao nakakaranas nun. Kaya naman, it is encouraged for PWDs na dapat present sa lahat ng mga usapin na may kinalaman sa kanila. Kaya nga, we are strengthening the PWD associations. Goal 3 is increase the access to the physical environment, public transportation, knowledge, and information and communication. So, yung ating goal kanina dun sa accessibility, a barrier-free environment, mas nais pa nating palakasin ito. Meron na, pero mas nais pa nating palakasin kung ano yung meron na yon. Kasi merong batas, merong nasusulat na i-implement naman, pero the massive implementation, saturated ba? Nasa-saturate ba yung mga locations na dapat meron nito? So, kaya patuloy pa rin natin ina-advocate at patuloy na nais natin makamit yung goal na ito. For goal 4, increase government support, either through cash, personal help, counseling, medicine, treatment, therapy to persons with disability. That is why there is a designated allocation of budget by government for PWDs. Again, this budget is along with senior citizen. Pero syempre, hindi doon natatapos iyon na alam naman natin na kahit anong gawin natin, kahit gaano kalaki ang budget, kulang at kulang pa rin ito. That is why we encourage at nakikita naman natin how government partnered with private institutions or other organizations. The goal 5 is, ayan, paumanhin dahil tinitingnan ko yung aking hard copy kasi yung dito sa screen ay natatakpan ng mga nagpa-pop up. So goal 5 is give more support and education to children with disabilities. And this is in the area of education na kung saan nakikita natin or again, na pag-usapan natin kanina na walang PWDs, ang student or child with disability or even adult na gustong mag-aral, ay hindi ito pwedeng tanggihan. Nakikita na natin ito. Pero, bakit patuloy pa rin natin ina-advocate yung goal na ito? Because there is more to work on too, not only on the admission of child with disability and adult with disability na gustong mag-aral, because there are still we need to still work on the facilities. We need to admit na many educational facilities pa rin ang hindi accessible friendly. Kaya naman, patuloy tayo nag-a-advocate para makamit natin yon. So again, ano yung pamantayan natin? Not only education, but a barrier-free environment. Goal 6 is to treat women and men with disabilities equally and support women with disabilities to be confident, have knowledge and skills to live independently in the community. Again, this is addressing a gender, hindi lang ito PWD issue. This is also addressing a gender issue na hindi in fact, women with disability have double vulnerability. Not only they are PWD, but they are also women. And this vulnerability ay mas nagbibigay sa kanila ng sitwasyon na nagpapasadlak sa kanila sa isang kondisyon na mas mahihirapan sila. Kaya nga, we need to advocate again for this goal para mabigyan ng equal and more opportunities ang women with disability. Not only for livelihood opportunities or income, but also opportunity sa education. Goal 7, make sure that persons with disability are safe when disasters happen. Itong insurance strategy ay 2013 to 2022, Pero it is good to see dito po sa Pilipinas, with RA 10121 or the DRRM law or the Disaster Risk and Reduction Management Act, PWDs, along with women, elderly, and children, must be prioritized during disaster. So nakita natin yung inclusion ng PWD welfare sa isang batas, sa isang legislation na hindi naman exclusively for PWDs yung legislation na yon. Pero nakita natin yung inclusion na yon. And that is one best practice of the Philippines kasi mamaya pag tinignan natin yung Jakarta Declaration, dito sa insurance strategy, ine-encourage niya na magkaroon ng mga legislations. Pero sa Jakarta Declaration, ine-encourage niya na ma-integrate ang PWD sa iba pang mga legislations na non-exclusive for PWD. So, for me, it's a good practice ng Pilipinas na even before pa it is in international commitments and in instrumentalities, ay meron na tayong mga practices like that. The goal 9 is to implement the Convention on the Rights of the Persons with Disability. All legislations na pinag-usapan natin kanina, it is in adherence with this Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. Kaya naman, meron tayong mga national laws. So, ano yung kanilang mga legal basis? The Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. And lastly, for goal 10 is to work together more at a sub-regional, regional, and interregional levels. So remember, this is an international instrumentalities, itong insurance strategy. So ano yung concern ng PWDs na ina-address hindi lang para sa Pilipinas? Ito ay concern ng PWDs globally. At all the nations that ratified, this commitments, pare-pareho tayo ng mga ginagawa. Pare-pareho na ina-expect sa atin because of our commitments kahit nasa ang mga iba't ibang region tayo. Okay, so that is the insurance strategy for Asia and Pacific decades for persons with disability, 2013 to 2022. Now let us move on to the present one, the Jakarta Declaration. Again, the Jakarta Declaration, it doesn't, or hindi nito pinapalitan ang insurance strategy, pero mas enhance nito yung nais ng insurance strategy, which is to achieve yung rights ng mga persons with disability. The Jakarta Declaration, as the SCAP defines it, needs a whole of the nation approach. Hindi lamang mga persons with disability ang boboses ang makakagawa ng mga or ang mag-advocate para ma-enjoy yung rights nila. This needs a systemic approach in all levels of our government. Kaya naman, the Jakarta Declaration have 6 priority areas. First priority is harmonizing national legislations with the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability. Patuloy na ina-encourage nito na dapat yung mga existing laws natin, existing policies, ay ma-review rin. And again, to establish mga bago pang mga policies. Kaya naman, with our presentations kanina, ang dami nating nababanggit na mga amended RA 7277, yung mga nabanggit ko kaninang mga RAs, after 7277, it is all amended Republic Act 7277. Kasi kapag may nakitang concern, issues para sa mga persons with disability or nararanasan ng mga persons with disability, nagkakaroon agad ng enough na solutions and translated eventually into legislations. So, ganun natin nakikita kabilis. At kaya naman, patuloy na the PWDs and also the advocates, patuloy nating binabantayan kung paano maa-address ng government itong mga concerns concerns of PWDs. Second priority is enabling meaningful participation of persons with diverse disability of all ages. Priority 3 is advancing universal design-based accessibility. Again, the standards, for example, yung nasa BP 344, hindi lang naman yan dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. It is a standard also na kung ano yung ina-adapt sa BP 344, ito rin yung ay kinuha or inadapt din on the national standard. And this accessibility, we mean that maaaring we want to mean hindi lang sana ito pag-a-address sa physical environment. Kung hindi, kapag na-address mo kasi yung physical environment, the social barriers will also mabibigyan natin ng ma-address natin or mai-stop natin. Kasi pag ang isang PWD can easily navigate yung kanyang physical environment, ang dali niyang makakapunta sa ibang tao or magkakaroon siya ng malawak na network. At yung mga network of people na yon is already pagtatanggal ng social barriers. So parang domino effect ito ay kabit-kabit na pag-a-address ng isang issue, mayroon pa rin tayong another issue sa PWDs na na-a-address din. Priority 4 is galvanizing the power of the private sector. And this is about the workforces. We enjoined yung mga participation ng private sectors to accommodate persons with disability. Priority 5 is to promote a gender-responsive life cycle approach to disability inclusion. This includes the provisions of social protection. Ano po, na kahit there are challenges for persons with disability. Parang the 4Ps program, ano po, kahit na magkaroon ng social shock or economic shock, kahit magkaroon ng economic shock, hindi pa rin sila sumasadsad sa kahirapan kasi they are protected because merong social protection. Ito rin yung nais nating makita sa mga persons with disability na makaranas ng challenges, hindi sila babalik sa kung anong kondisyon sila noong una. So and this should be across all age and gender. Priority 6, the last, is closing disability data gaps and strengthening progress tracking of disability inclusive development. This priority 6 ay may connection in addressing the sustainable development goals or and ito yung kumbaga contribution sa area ng PWD. This is the contribution how to progress more yung sustainable development goals. So closing the gaps and strengthening progress tracking of disability inclusive development. Ayun. So I think that's the topic 2. Ano po? Kaya naman ay with this last slide, ito yung lagi kong sinasabing credo kanina, I think this could be a credo not only of PWDs but of advocates ng rights ng PWDs also. Dahil yung tulong natin sa PWD, paano ma-attain, ma-achieve, ma-enjoy yung kanilang mga rights. So, PWD ay malakas ang boses nila na nagsasabing nothing about us without us. So, with this, lalo na yung ating mga kasamahan dito na actively participated, we encourage na patuloy with this one, patuloy nating suportahan yung mga gawain para sa mga persons with disability para makamit nila yung mga rights nila. Nakasama tayo ng mga advocates na boboses din para sa kung ano yung dapat nilang ma-enjoy na rights.